It's moving day. Hello everybody and welcome back to In the Dugout FM. This is Sunday League to Champions League and I, of course, am Millers. And you are looking at the Abbey Stadium all the way down here in Cambridge, where I'm trying my best to settle in, but it's been bumpy. So today's moving day. We're going to actually get ourselves our own place. We've outstayed our welcome at the Premier Inn because we've been here a few weeks now, and there's only so many burgers and beers you can have when you come back from work before you start to feel a little bit bobbins. So we're going to get ourselves our own little place. In all honesty, we're going to rent because things haven't gone tremendously well in the first few games. So I don't know how long we're going to be here. But we're going to rent for the first few weeks, or first few months for sure, and see where we get to. It's a nice little place, but I'll show you. So this is the Abbey Stadium. You can see it there. We're fairly close to the centre of Cambridge. It's not a million miles away, so it's quite a nice little location. There's King's College and stuff and all of that jazz. It's very, very nice. It's very, very nice. They do some tremendous chips and cheese and gravy, which I have been partaking in for fun, as you can see. So, absolutely delicious. Betty in catering sorts me out all the time. But again, not great for the diet. So, look, that's where we are. So, the Abbey Stadium, it's nice. They've just upgraded it. It's roughly 10,000 seater stadium now. I think they've done some work. But yeah, it's a lovely little place. Loads of allotments at the back there. It's very pristine. This is clearly taken sort of pre-season when the lads were working on the pitch, but it's a nice little ground. Nice little ground, does exactly what it needs to do, and gives us a nice little home. In terms of our training facilities, well, we train not a million miles away from the ground, and again, not a million miles away from the centre of Cambridge, which is nice. I can't get any footage for love nor money unless you've got any drone footage, because I haven't got any. Every time I go on any of one of these walks, there's massive fences, so you can't see it. No one can spy on me, but there is a nice little facility there for us, and that's where we train. And the ground is literally just a little bit further up here somewhere, just around about here. So, not a million miles away, and that has led me to find ourselves a little place that is 3 miles from the ground. It's 1.5 miles from our training facility, so I can walk there in the morning because that's where my office is and stuff. Figure I can walk there, and then on a Saturday and a Tuesday, jump in the car. It's only 3.5 miles up the road. Get myself in, no problem at all. Do all of that, and it's affordable, right? And believe me, when I say affordable, prices are quite expensive down here in Cambridge. But I've got myself a little balcony, which I quite like. I'm paying 1,550 quid a month for this privilege, but it's really nice. I can chill out there in the morning with my brew. Nice little kitchen, nice bathroom, fairly quiet little courtyard, fairly tucked away. Little sort of little kitchen diner kind of an area, lounge, nice bath, nice bedroom. It'll do me. And I get all of that for 358 quid a week. So net, I'm on £1,000 a week. I'm probably coming out with about 700 quid. So 350 of that's going on my rent. So I can afford it. I can get by. I've got a nice little 1-bedroom apartment within walking distance of work. And actually it's quite quiet and, doesn't need any work, nothing like that. So I can chill out in there. I've got a 6-month lease. So there's no problem there. We've got a home. We can get out of the Premier Inn, get ourselves in here, and we've got a little base of operations to set ourselves up in Cambridge. So we've got a place to live, and we're not committed. Further down the line, who knows, if things start to improve, because they're going to have to, we might get ourselves a little mortgage, we might get ourselves a place, but property's expensive down here, a lot more than I'm used to being from up north. But we'll see how it goes. But we've moved in, so we're established, we're here, we're in Cambridge. Now let's turn our attentions to the football. Okay, as you can see, we're currently sat in 15th. It's been a bit of a bumpy ride. We're on 6 points. There's been a lot of draws in here. And actually, the wage budget is proving to be a bit of a stumbling block in terms of bringing in anything more than what we already had. But I'll walk you through all of that in a second. So just a very quick look at the league table then. You can see we're 15th. Media prediction, by the way, had us 19th. So, we're probably in and around the teams where we thought we would be. So it's not the end of the world. But it's been difficult. So you joined us for the Wrexham game where we drew 2-2. We then had a Carabao Cup game against Stockport. Stockport are in the Championship, by the way. So, they've kicked on significantly since the year we're currently in real life, and they're flying high. We got beat there 1-0. We did play our first team, but it wasn't enough. So we crashed out of the Carabao Cup. We came back into the league, played Blackpool away, managed to get 3 points there. We got a 3-1 win, which was nice. Again, Lancaster seems to be our guy. Does great bits, and 2 different lads took a penalty. There were 3 penalties in that game, by the way. The referee was well trigger happy. We played Barnsley, got beat at home, which isn't great. The fans didn't really appreciate that. Then we travelled to Crawley, drew 2-2, and then we came back home to the Abbey Stadium and drew 1-1 with Colchester, despite them going 1-0 up after the first 3 minutes. So it's been challenging. I thought I'd come back to you today. 1, moving day, mega important. 2, we're going to play in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. So for those of you that are old enough to remember, it's the there's been about 5 million names for this cup, hasn't there? But it's the cheap one that we're willing to give away if we want. But we've never played in it before in this save, so we're going to play in it today. St Johnston's Cup, was it? There's been loads of different names for it, hasn't there? But yeah, so it's one we're willing to give away if we have to, but it's group stages, so there's quite a few of these. But I thought we'd do the first one. It's Cheltenham, relatively local, not a million miles away from us, Cheltenham. So we'll play that game, and then I'll kick on a little bit further and see where we get to. But yeah, we're doing okay. From a finances perspective, we're there or thereabouts, right? We're what, 1,400 quid over at the minute. I can't trim this very much further. Don't know why that's there. I can't trim this very much further. We're trying to, so it's transfer deadline day tomorrow, and we are trying to do a little bit. But when I say we're trying to do a little bit, I'm trying to get people out, rather than get people in, because I've got a lad. Where is he? Where's the boy? George Thomas, right? He's wanted, but brilliant. If I can get that for him, I'll be ecstatic. He's only on He's only on $5,000 a week. So, if I can move him out, he solves all my problems. But I've got 1 or 2 others on the transfer list. This lad's failed his appeal for his work permit, 1,400 quid a week. He's on the transfer list. As you can see, I'm doing my best to get rid of him. We've got Sam Aston, who's also on the transfer list. There's another 1,300 quid a week. Sean Moore, 4,300 quid a week. He's on the transfer list for a week's wages. So I'm trying to do a couple of bits to get our numbers in order. But even when we do that, we still don't have what we need in terms of requisite quality, because we're just not scoring goals. The lad I've actually brought in on a free, the youngster, he's actually bagged for me, but our actual number 9 has been sent off and not scored. Which is a shame, because actually he looks half decent, does Glenn, and I think he'll have a bit. But unfortunately, he's not doing enough, and the scouts rate him as a fringe player, which tells you quite a bit. Jamal's probably better placed to be our centre forward, but he's desperate to play on the left and cut inside. That's what he likes to do. I don't, he loves to play left wing, but doesn't want to use his left foot. So that's where we are. Will Mannion is our keeper and by far our best number 1 by like a country mile. He wants to explore his options at the end of the season, so he's listed. We'll see what we can do. I've asked him to stay. He won't. Matty Virtue said the same thing to me, but I asked him to stay. He said he will. So that's, we got 1 positive out of the 2. But we've had a difficult time, and as it stands, we're gonna be working hard to try and improve this. Godrick's all right with us at the minute. Ultimately, we're doing what he's asked us to do. I don't know how we passed that, but we were competitive in the Carabao Cup according to Godrick. So 1-0 is 1-0. Even though he's whinging about it here, he says I've passed it there. So you can't really win. He wants us to reach the knockout rounds of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. That's a mouthful. So we'll see. We're not gonna dodge the cup. We're gonna play it, and we're gonna give it our shot, because ultimately I think that's probably our best chance at getting to Wembley with Cambridge. So we'll do our best there. From a supporters' perspective, again, they're all right. They're all right with it. We're doing what we said we would do. So that we're not a million miles away from being okay. A B will do. But I'm nervous about it all, if I'm honest with you. So, look, let's get into the game. We're in a group, as I said before, so we've got Cheltenham, Exeter and Ipswich under-21s in our group. We're in the southern section, Group B. So it's not going to be a given, this, I'm afraid. We're going to have a right good go at it. We are going to go positive from the off. Again, as you guys will know Nick now, he does like to have a go at these things. Glenn's still suspended, so he can't play. But we're going to go with what I consider to be our first team and see how we do. So we're going to put Jamal on and give him a start in the position he likes to play in. Lancaster's going to go out there on that side for me. Again, he does fantastically well for us. He's our main source of goals, if I'm honest. Khan's going to come in. We did sign Liam. We managed to get him over the line, but he's going to rotate. He's a lad that's going to sit in that defensive midfield position for me, but he'll rotate with Khan and see whether we can actually make a difference in that area where we just hold and look to play from there. And we also managed to get in Shadrach, so he's come in. He did very, very well for us at left back. That's probably where he's going to find himself. He's not going to play today. He'll play in the next league fixture. But we've managed to bring him in and Liam. So those guys have come in and done a couple of bits. And then we've got a couple of lads in from the youth team that are too old to play in the under-18s, but they're going to feature in the first team. If not, they'll go out on loan. So we'll try and make sure they get some first team football where we can. And then you've got not Glenn but George. Again, remember he's my guy to go and wind folk up. So I send him on sort of halfway through the game, try and do bits, try and get people sent off if at all possible. But he's done okay when he's come on for us, so he'll sit there on the bench. And then Admiral, I think this kid should be better than his current performances suggest. He's got lots of ability. He is on that cusp of going slightly over or slightly past his prime. But I'd like to see him doing a little bit more than he has. But he's there. He will come on for us. He will do bits, but he's not giving me what I would like. Certainly for £4,500 a week, and at that kind of price, again, I wouldn't mind seeing him go out. We just need to solve our financial problems at the minute. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna start. We're gonna play against Cambridge. We'll see how not Cambridge. We're Cambridge. Play against Cheltenham, and see how we do. But yeah. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on myself, but I think we've come in from Curzon and we've got a point to prove, haven't we? Because everyone's like, "How have you got this job?" But maybe I'm being a bit harsh. I don't know. If we can finish mid-table with this squad and balance the books, in theory, I should be quite proud of myself, because it's our first foray into the professional game. And to do that would be really good. But I wanted to come here and make a massive impression. I just need to calm myself down, don't I? Yeah, just need to have a word with myself, give my head a wobble, get ourselves settled into our apartment. Stop eating burgers every night of the week, and all being well, we'll get ourselves comfy. As Jamal's just tucked away, so that's good. He was on the inside there, as you saw. He does like to do that. He floats in. I'm not set his position to do that. Obviously, you saw me set him as a winger. We do still want to create chances for our centre forward, who's playing as a poacher. But because he's right-footed, he naturally floats inside anyway. And when it results in goals, I'm all right with that. As we look to try and clear this corner. Is it cleared to no one? No, Jamal's there. He's chased this down. Fair play. Yeah, good. See, I don't mind that. When they do that and they just turn back and look after the ball, you're okay with it. As we look to recycle it around the defence, can we go into Khan? Yes, we can. Come back wide if you want. Okay, he's gone back to Jack. Jack's quite happy just to stand with his foot on the ball and let the centre forwards come and create those pockets for us. As Matty Virtue busts forward, back to Ollie. Ollie's clipped it. I've no idea what happened there. We've hit the corner flag, so it looked like it was a shot. I don't know if it hit the target, if it hit the post. I don't know what happened, but we managed to hit the corner flag, which is a first for me. Matty's tired. He wants a rest. We might take him off at half time. He's arguably our best player. As they've scored from 20 yards, and I've no idea how. Has it taken a deflection there to beat Will? Because Will's a good keeper. It's a set. Is there a deflection? There is. There's a deflection, and it's one of those where it's just spinning on the surface and it takes it away from Will. And it's 1-1. And I don't think they've deserved it, in fairness, but we are where we are. It's Yearns on the ball, looks to reset. Matty's back with it. He's looking to go wide. You can see what he's looking to do, but no one's made that run. Jamal was there, but two defenders. Khan out to Kai Jenkins. Boxed. Jamal's there, and it was it the post or was it the corner? Looks like it was the post. 1-1 at half-time. The lads are going to come in. I'm not too disappointed. You know, we've possession's been 50-50, but we've had the lion's share of the XG, whilst they've had some reasonable chances. I'm going to say I'm not happy because I want us to be beating teams like this, and I want us to be beating them quite convincingly. But we're going to send George on for Matty, just to give him a bit of a rest. George is the boy we've got on the transfer list, if you recall. And we're just going to have a look and see if that's his best role for the position he's in. We're going to let him roam then, because it's not. So let him roam, try and get on the ball. We know we've got Admiral to bring on. We can do that, and we know we've got George as well. He can come on for us to try and make a difference in the middle of the park. But as it stands, that's the way we're going to go. We're going to make one change at half-time purely because of legs, and we'll send them out. Hopefully the team talk will do what it was supposed to do, and all being well, it'll make a difference for us in the second half. As we've got a corner, Lancaster looks to box and does. And it's flicked wide. It's absolutely nothing corner, really. As time continues to tick by. Never moved house before where I've moved significant distances. So this move's going to be interesting for me. You know, I was delighted to find out we did gravy in the stadium. I'd been led to believe that southern people don't really like gravy, but in Cambridge they seem to like gravy, so we're okay. And we can deal with that. We're going to send George on, and we're going to send Admiral on, and we're going to go attacking. Never have I scored a goal from being attacking in this game, but we'll do it anyway, just to see if it can make any difference. I don't really want another draw. I don't know, we've not really got that. Do you remember sort of the first season with Curzon where we were doing okay, we were creating chances, but we had no one to tuck them away? It's got a little bit of a feel of that. As Carney clips one, nodded back to the keeper with ease, really. Lancaster's solid for us on that right-hand side, but we can't really be relying on our wingers every single time to be tucking these goals away. You need somebody in the box, particularly with the formation that I'm playing, to finish the hard work. As Cheltenham are now on the attack. Well, I don't know what you're doing there, George. Far too easy. They've worked the ball into the box and they've scored. And, ordinarily, you know me, I wouldn't be too bothered because it's a cup game. But this is the first team. This is the first team, and we're not doing enough for me to be deserving of that first team label. As I'm going to demand more, but I'm not sure what we can get done in that last sort of 5 minutes with a shout like that. It's not great. It's not great, but at least you're getting an honest view as to what we're facing at the minute, because it's a challenge. Look at those fans there. They are not happy. And they're not happy, and it's understandable too. As Cheltenham have managed to get themselves a result down here, which isn't really what you're looking for when you're trying to make a good impression. I'm far from pleased with that result, is what they'll get. And I wouldn't mind if we'd rotated. And I genuinely wouldn't, right? But Cheltenham are in League 2, They're mid-table in League Two as well, and they've come here and actually they've just shown more fight, more endeavour. And unfortunately, that's not good enough for me because the minimum we expect from our boys is a little bit of endeavour, and we've not had that today. Really, really disappointing. But it does show you the honest view as to where we are. You know, we've got a challenging month in September. We've got our local rivals at home in September too. But I'm going to probably just kick on a little bit rather than come back every 5 minutes for you guys. We'll come back probably in the middle of October time. Maybe we'll do QPR away. That'll be a nice fixture, won't it? Because that's a well-known team. Or depending on who we get in the first round of the Cup, we might do that. And we'll give you another update in terms of how we're getting on and how we're settling in. Hope you've enjoyed that. Do feel free to drop a like on there if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Apparently there's 70% of you that are watching that are not subscribed. It's free. Don't cost you out. Just subscribe for me. It would really help out. Helps with the numbers, helps with the algorithm and all of that stuff. And I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.